Does Substack has an audience problem? Yes or no? That's the question I'm going to answer in this video. And before getting started, if you actually want to grow your newsletter with 300 to 500 new email subscribers each month with Substack, I have a free course. It's the first thing in the description. Feel free to grab it. So I recently came across this interesting article right here, how Substack steals your audience and revenue. And I thought it would be interesting to take a closer look about the arguments in this article to understand whether or not Substack is a trap, because I've been seeing a lot of people telling that you should actually not publish on Substacks. I am not a Substack fanboy. I'm using Substack to build my audience. So that's the huge difference. Now let's just take a look about what exactly is going on right here. So the first argument right here is like Substack steals your revenue, and that 30% of your revenue goes to fees, right? And yes, that's true. And the author right here also mentioned you don't have these fees with Patreon and Beehive and Kit and whatever. Okay, let's just put things into context. So first of all, Substack is completely ad-free. So if I head over to my feed right here, I don't have a single freaking ad. So the folks at Substack still need to make money, right? So I'm fine with actually giving 10% or actually giving me the choice about, hey, like I'm willing to see ads, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing that this article right here misses is the fact that Beehive, Kit, and all of these other platforms, they make their money by selling you a subscription. So if I head over to, let's say, Beehive, you're still going to pay dozens of dollars per month to publish your newsletter, right? Which means that at the end, it's just economics. Which business model do you prefer? So it goes on to a bunch of limitations of Substack, and I'm completely fine with that. So that's not the real issue. But the real issue is thinking that just because they take 10% and Stripe takes 3%, that is a scam. The second big argument right here is that Substack is prohibiting sales content. And I actually saw people who got their accounts suspended because Substack simply judged their content to be too much on the sales side of things. So as an example, when I'm running a promo, so these kind of final notice emails are one of the most profitable emails you will ever send. And if you actually send this through Substack, chances are that you might get banned. And that's basically the big problem if you use Substack to replace your newsletter. And that is something that I've talked about in this article, is don't use Substack for email marketing. And I actually went on about that Substack is actually not an autoresponder. And if people tell you like, you could cancel your Kit account or you can cancel your Beehive account and move everything to Substack, this is a huge mistake simply because Substack is just not an autoresponder, right? So you still have to obey by their rules. Another interesting point right here is that Substack actually exhausts your audience with content notification. So you're probably familiar with this recommendation kind of thing. Is that once you subscribe to someone, it will also give you, hey, would you also like to follow this other creator or also subscribe to 3 other publications? It's the exact same feature you have on Beehive with the recommendations, and you also have the same kind of feature with Kit. So usually recommendation-based subscriber are less higher quality than someone who actually spend 5 or 7 minutes reading your stuff, but it's still a good thing to have. And always remember, like, people can always unsubscribe, right? Then that's another point. Then you have this point is they get your audience to opt out of your emails. And this is a legit issue, right? So if let's say you're in the app and I just prefer not push notifications instead of email, then yes, you're screwed. You can actually reach these persons by email. But this goes back to the main issue, which is treating Substack as an autoresponder. If the only idea you took out of this video is that Substack is not an autoresponder, Substack is a way to grow your newsletter that you send out with a real autoresponder. An autoresponder where you have control, where you can send promotional emails, and where you can actually pitch your freaking stuff. So if this is something that you'd like to learn, I have this free course that will show you exactly how to use Substack to grow your email list so that you can then monetize your list with courses, coaching, or done-for-you services. If that's something interesting to you, there is a free link down below in the description. So I hope that this helps, and I talk to you soon.